as you all gather and begin riding down the large sandy dune that serves as kind of a ramp coming off of the cursed oasis, having bypassed the webways as well as the glass dunes that make up either side here, moving closer and closer to Perian and Netter's Rally, the river that will take you directly to the system of lifts that allow passage into Netter's Rally proper. Getting closer and closer. Not long to go at all, just a matter of a day or so. A few hours pass. You see the distillery doesn't really lose your sight as you travel through these kind of flatlands. Things go pretty smoothly. Roll me a d20. We'll do it with advantage here. It'll be a flat d20 from both the people driving the horses. So I believe that to be Plato and Sherrilyn.
Good luck, Plato.
Well, it's a flat d20, so we're on even footing.
Are we really?
It's an 18 from Sherrilyn.
I also got an 18.
Just west of where the distillery entrance is, it is kind of submerged a bit into the side of a dune, but you do see a makeshift camp with a fire going. That is very practically, for all purposes, kind of stuffed within this dune, like some sort of makeshift structure, with some black smoke going from it. Both of you with an 18 do kind of spot that on your way. It looks very similar to the smoke of the previous campfire you spotted a couple nights ago, but it is coming from closer than the distillery. So you'd either have to kind of like turn if you wanted to go to that camp or continue moving forward to the distillery.
That seems to be the Dragonborn, is what you're saying?
At least probably the fire setup looks very similar to when you saw those 3 young dragons flying around.
Do you see those plumes of smoke, my lady?
She looks to where you're gesturing and goes, yes. So it looks like someone set up camp somewhere in that direction.
Well, if I recall, we had mentionings of potentially finding allies amongst them. Did we want to say hello?
She stops to think about it for a second, because, I mean, it could go either way. But perhaps if it's not too big of a detour, I do really want to get some rest, and I also want to make sure my sister made it to the distillery all right.
Well, Mr. Ardavian, shall we give them our regards?
Yes, let us at least venture closer and confirm it is the dragons that I saw, and then we can warn them perhaps about the oasis sigil that wants to take blood from people, unless that only wanted Francis's blood. Who knows with sigils?
Very well.
Be very flattering if it only wanted mine.
Maybe you have exceptional blood, sir.
Make your way. You're kind of riding parallel to this distance. Do you hear just a few hundred feet from it? Halt! You look around. It's hard to make out as you see a dragonborn hanging from this palm tree, mostly obscured by the growing frond, but letting himself be seen here as he yells out. You see the hand crossbow that he holds, despite being one-handed, holds a pretty large payload. It looks like a crossbow bolt with at the end this kind of large sack filled with some sort of material, unsure of what the bolt would do if fired.
Well, I'm assuming Sherrilyn is riding slightly ahead of you, Plato, so she'll draw the horse to a halt immediately.
Yes,
She
I
looks
hope as well.
over. Sounds good. Yeah, you both stop your horses. The dragonborn looks you all over and yells, "Why do you approach? What is your intent?"
Inara holds her arm out, hand like palm facing him. She calls out "Salam" and tries to like smile at him and go, "We are just passing by and thought we'd just stop and say hello. Make sure everything was okay before we continued on our journey. We mean no harm."
And to share that the recently cursed oasis is now no longer cursed. You're welcome.
He does a double take. I need a persuasion check at advantage from Inara with Sherrilyn's help action here, as this figure kind of again draped in cloths hanging off this palm tree. Really, like impressive forearm strength here, holding the full structure of this individual up off the tree.
Okay, persuasion check at advantage is 17 plus 1. Okay, so 17 plus 1 for 18.
You hear a totally different tone of voice, much softer, come over this individual as they drop themselves from the tree, fully do a front flip, and then kind of land with their crossbow stored and stowed as they put their hands up. "Do you have a healer among your people?"
Inara remembers the potion she just gave to Sherrilyn and goes, "We have ways to help, yes?"
Please, follow me. We're in dire need.
Looks like another job for you, Sir Thon.
Yeah, sensing his urgency, she turns in her horse in her seat on the back of Harkin, I guess, and looks at Francis and goes, "I hope you're ready."
She begins sprinting through the desert. You see her. It is a feminine form as she takes to the ground here. She moves very quickly, seemingly completely unbothered by the sand, as she seems to glide over top of it, almost skating. She leads you kind of a few tens of feet west of the place where you see the half hidden camp. And as your eyesight comes into view, you see there seems to be some sort of tarp or structure that is sand colored that seems to be leaned against the dune, blocking a real camp that's set up a few like 50 feet or so from the obvious campfire that seems to be a distraction or some sort of obvious play. As you all go into view, following her view, and find this perspective that allows you to see past this fourth wall covered sand-like tapestry. You see another dragonborn individual, three large cages that are stacked up against the tarp, as well as a third dragonborn individual on the ground, sweating profusely in a semi-conscious state. All three of them have these massive spiked, like toothed scythes on their back that at the end have this curved blade that have these like very, very sharp, almost jagged teeth on either side of the scythe. All three of them bear this weapon. The cages themselves are covered with these blankets, but you hear like something move around in them as you all approach. In Dragonborn, one of them says, "Thank the gods, I found a healer. Please, whoever of you can help, please."
What happened here?
"We were attacked by poachers. They were using some sort of poisoned crossbow bolts. It got Yorish very badly. He is on his last leg. We have a journey to complete. He must not die here."
Francis would see the injured dragonborn and kind of like the state of pain there, and would hop off of Grizzly and start walking towards the dragonborn. Not really like quickly, but definitely with a purpose. And he would kind of like look over them and be like, "Are these the only ones?"
Yes, he is the only wounded. You see the other dragonborn kind of stand up over top of the wounded one and turn to you and like gracefully bow. "There are just the three of us. We are on a sacred journey."
Can I roll insight on what she said regarding the poachers and the poison darts? Just because they have cages with something in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, as Francis is going to inspect the injured person or injured dragonborn, Inara's looking around camp, trying to gather more details, get a clearer picture of the situation. +0 for me, so that's a straight up 12.
A 12? Yeah, I think you see as you're kind of exploring this pretty small limited space. It's pretty cramped together here. As you get closer to these cages that seem to be kind of like rattling, they haven't really stopped at all. You do see on the top cage this burst of light, and you feel this like feeling of heat as the tarp that's covering it is like pushed forward as whatever's in there, it has the ability to create some sort of fire with a 12. As you see it kind of create this fire that pushes against the tarp with the air of it, but the tarp itself seems to be fireproof and it doesn't burn.
So definitely a magical creature there. So Inar turns back to the dragonborn female that led us here and goes, "How did you end up here? What is your important journey?"
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage as she kind of looks towards Francis. "Are you going to be able to do anything?"
Sir Thon, Sherrilyn approaches him. How are you on resources after our last bout?
It's 16 for persuasion.
"This is usually a closed practice, but with you helping us, I guess you deserve to know what we are doing. For a long time, there were no real dragons that oversaw this land, but there has been a great rebirthing. New eggs have been found, hatched. We are dragon priests. It is our job, our right, our duty. when a new dragon is born, to bring them to the pillar of truth, and ask whether or not that dragon's addition to the community will be worthwhile in the long term. If the pillar answers no, it is our job right then and there to draw our holy scythe and end the dragon's life. This is what we swear. Each of us have one of them. We have to make it to the pillar.
Oh, well, that's disturbing. Damn, okay, this both sounds very, like, holy adjacent, but also traumatizing. Is this something that Inara would have potentially heard of before? Is this not a normal custom in Luxoria?
It is, but it's a closed practice. Like you would definitely know of this if you were born to the Dragonborn nomads or
Okay.
have spent like many. It's a custom that hasn't had to been done in a very long time because there weren't dragons being born. But it
Okay.
is a long held custom to bring them to this pillar as a reminder. This pillar that can answer any yes or no question truthfully. To bring them there and ask whether or not the dragon would spread evil. Dragons are incredibly powerful creatures. To let them grow to full fruition willingly and knowingly in itself could bring great harm. So this practice has been taken. I think that's all you know because she just shared it with you, right? Like you wouldn't have
Right,
known that any
yeah.
beforehand. You'd have to ask to know any more about it. But that is what she
But
shares.
it fits with most of the Dragonborn tribes, like, purposes towards maintaining the desert and whatnot. So, okay.
Yeah, to have an apex predator loose that doesn't mean good for the community. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you can't just have full-grown dragons out there.
So definitely out of respect, her mother would have drilled this into her from a young age, so she's able to control her response, let's say, and respect that this is something that they believe in and a sacrifice in and of itself. She's looking very judgy. Like, she's upset by this as she looks towards the cages. I respect that this is your purpose, but it does seem extreme to play both judge and executioner of such a young life.
It is not a task we take lightly. I we dedicate a lot to understanding that it is a decision that must be made and carrying through. But I understand. You must understand that dragons grow very, very quickly and require a lot of resources. If they aren't aligned to the idea of a growing community, it can become burdensome much too quickly. They are intelligent beings. That's why this must be done within days of them being birthed. They will quickly outwit, outsmart, outgrow. That is why it must be done when they are so young.
To your question, Sir Stalder, I am capable of performing what is necessary for this injured dragon. It will nearly exhaust me of all options.
Well, I think in this instance, perhaps I might be able to prove assistance.
Any help would be grateful.
The Dragonborn in the middle, by the way, who's wounded, looks pretty severely wounded. Many cuts, lacerations to the face, some crossbow bolts still sticking out of their back. They look incredibly old. Their features withered, by far the oldest. The youngest of them being the feminine-looking Dragonborn. But the one in the middle, who was referred to as Yarush, is ancient. Just very, very old in comparison, especially to the other two.
To the femme dragonborn, the one who is still conscious, she would ask, "You said this person is poisoned."
Yes, we've seen nothing of the like before. Yarush is a hard man to take down, but enough of these bolts, and he just went completely unconscious. He hasn't said anything since.
Well, accidental poisonings can sometimes happen to our animals in Medea. Not that you are an animal, but allow me to see what I can do.
After hearing the in Medea part, you see that these two Dragonborn begin like the one who is standing over the wounded one. His eyes dart towards the one who escorted you there with the look of like, who the fuck did you bring here? With the in Medea the poison animals thing. As they look each other over, both kind of defaulting to looking at Inara as kind of the point of contact here.
Inara holds her hands out, trying to calm them down. It's okay. How do I explain this?
You could begin with "is a friend."
Unfortunately, because of, shall we say, the current situation, across the continent, not to mention your country's history. It's going to take a little more than that to convince them. And she turns back to the Dragonborn pair. I am Inara, daughter of the Gilded Rose. My companions here are all representative dignitaries, shall we say, of their respective countries. They were well trusted by my mother and through that by me as well. I hope you believe me.
No check needed here yet, as you all are actively helping this individual, and they don't want to put an end to that or cause any trouble. But they seem to respect and acknowledge the title of your mother as
Okay, yeah. My hope is that
a bit.
if they recognize who my mother is, then they hopefully recognize the dress that I'm wearing, because I would think it's pretty well known from the ceremony.
Probably these seem pretty outskirt nomads. Like, you're not sure how long they've been around civilization, for sure.
But she will look at the female dragonborn and ask, "Do you have any of the poison darts? Perhaps if I can study the poison, I can help create an antidote."
She kind of looks at you, looks at him, and then, like, the crossbow bolt sticking out of his back. I think I could get a sample, yeah.
Oh, the crossbow bolt is still in him. Okay. So, yeah, Inara will kneel down and will look to Francis, kind of like she's asking for his help. So she'll look to him. Do you think you could help me get this out of him?
Francis will look between both Inara and Sherrilyn, seeing both of them walk towards to help him out, and he would gladly nod towards Inara and then look towards Sherrilyn, being like, "What would it that you help with this injury?"
Yeah, Sherrilyn raises a hand to pause the two of you as she takes a spot kneeling on the ground beside Inara. An antidote may not be necessary in this case, if you'll just bear with me for a moment. Is this person conscious, Yarush?
No.
No. Okay.
Not even like a little.
Okay. She kind of shifts in place. She hasn't done this in a while, and definitely not to another person. So she like centers herself and closes her eyes. All right, just give me a moment to focus. And as she does, she's going to have a hand sort of hovering over his back, where, you know, the area between her pointer finger and her thumb is like around where the crossbow would be. And she is going to use 5 hit points from lay on hands, or 5 points from lay on hands, to try and neutralize the poison.
Fuck yeah. Lay on Hands does that, doesn't it?
Yep, you can expend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it.
That absolutely works, as this guy's taken 3 dosage of giant scorpion venom. 1 should have killed the man, 2 should have definitely killed the man, but he's got 3 in him, and now he doesn't, as you neutralize all of this toxin kind of spread throughout his body. All at once, he jerks up and begins coughing very violently. This phlegm and mixture of materials begins like coughing out as this poison is just removed, cured from his body by Sherrilyn's touch.
Oh yes, there's a good man. She pats him on the back as he's coughing up all of this nasty foaming saliva. Well, this is much more severe than some poison berries, but I'm glad I could be of assistance.
Inara holds out a water flask to him for when he's done.
The cage at the bottom of the cage stack, whatever's in there, has been mostly neutral. It hasn't moved as much or created any fire or anything. It goes absolutely crazy. It begins screeching and like almost breaking apart the cage behind it as you hear metal begin to bend. As Yarush kind of sits up, both the other Dragonborn go to either of his shoulders, kind of holding him upright, and they begin offering some water as he takes it, finishing coughing up this venom.
Yes, one more thing. Excuse me, sir. You have an arrow in your butt. She'll reach forward and try and pull it out.
You see him quickly unwrap a bandage that was on his arm and put it between his teeth.
She tugs it out in one quick jerking motion.
He like barely winces, his teeth going down against his like very sharpened Dragonborn teeth. There's one more in like the middle of his spine. You see the thing is just fucking lathered with poison, like all the way to the base.
Shall I get this one as well?
You see his giant head nod.
Careful not to touch the poison with your bare hands. Inara calls out as she watches you just yank these out of his body.
Yes, this is some serious battlefield medicine. You're just yanking the arrows right out of him. Oh.
Gauntlets?
Roll me a medicine check as you remove this last one.
Okay, well, medicine's definitely not her specialty, but she'll give it a go. With an 8.
You watch as he's kind of pre-wincing a little bit as Sherrilyn just like tears this last arrow. It gets stuck a little bit on the head, and you see like a fresh wound open up as she takes it out, and this man just falls unconscious on the ground, like face first, just face plants into the sand underneath the tent.
God.
Oh,
just
shit.
Unconscious.
Don't worry. I can help with that as well.
Maybe some of us should hop in. Inara.
He's bleeding.
No,
Yeah,
I insist. I'll use more of she'll quickly go and offer him another 5 points from her lay on hands, but for healing.
He just needs the one as you begin bleeding out again. But 5 points will do it as it heals up the freshly opened wound on his back where the crossbow bolt was pulled out.
You did ask me to remove it, for the record.
You did nothing wrong. I am Elder Yarush. Thank you for saving my life.
You're welcome, Elder Yarush.
What is your name? Oh, Medean one.
She was ready to rattle off her full title and then realized that's probably ill-suited for this moment. You may call me Sir Stalder.
All right, Sir Stalder. He says it as if it's one name and not a title and a name.
Kind of just like shrugs that off.
This was very kind of you. He comes back. What are you all doing here? I got them, Elder Yarush. They were just traveling through the desert and they started heading away. I flagged them down. They had a healer among them. No. Your journey. It is of great importance. What is going on here?
What? Our journey?
There is intention.
Plato's back holding the reins of the horses, by the way. He hasn't approached this group. He has no healing abilities.
Inara looks around to the rest of the group. Perhaps what with you being on a journey of your own, you have not heard of what has occurred recently.
Please enlighten us.
She pauses for a second, looking from Sherrilyn to Francis. Is Plato too far away to hear the conversation? Or?
No. I'm nearby. I'm respectfully outside of the circle. You don't want to crowd someone who's being unpoisoned.
Right. So yeah, she just glances in each of your directions, pausing just for a few seconds to give you guys a chance to tell her to shut up because she's taken initiative before and made the apparently inappropriate decision for the group.
I hardly see any point in telling her to stop, considering she'll go anyway.
Yes, Plato trusts Inara as the point of contact with Luxorians, especially the Dragonborn, who he is excited to meet.
So yeah, seeing no objection from the group, she continues, we were at the peace meet, each of us representing our countries in some way or shape, when all the delegations were attacked on the first night. As far as we know, we are the only survivors that were not captured by the, she winces a little bit, cult that attacked us.
What did they look like?
She'll actually hesitate here and turn, and she's looking straight at Sherrilyn. She's just like,
Some of the ones we dealt with had faces of shadow.
Yes, she was very relieved that you did not include the word Medean before you said cult, but now that you are staring at her, she is a little nervous.
As Plato responds, they all kind of look at each other. Hey, the first oasis shares a curse. Haunted by shadow beasts.
No more.
we took care of it.
Arish looks between both of them. What?
Yes,
The
the
big
darkness
snake,
has been
yeah.
dispelled.
The orb, the hate orb.
Yeah, dispelled the curse, broke the orbs, killed the basilisk.
He kind of like guffaws and then just begins openly laughing, like just laughing so hard. He like starts coughing again. They say it so casually. The other two Dragonborn don't laugh. They just kind of like look a little confused as they hie him over. Hundreds of years the first oasis have remained dark, and the four of you, you, you ended it. I believe you, I can tell. You are not lying to me. It's no more. It's relit.
This is not us being modest exactly. It is more that we do not want to relive or go into detail about the awful things that occurred to us there. Let us all be happy it is no longer as it was.
Also, it's been a journey, let me tell you. We have seen some things, and the
Big
poor
snake.
little owl didn't make it.
That was so long ago.
God, it's not the owl again. Please.
He begins laughing more. I cannot believe it. A coalition of different countrymen. So many nomads. That place, it was the first time, the histories say, that our people ever tried to live somewhere, to set up a community that didn't move, like the sands. What happened there has long since been erased to history, but it is nice to know that an important part of our heritage has been cleansed of the darkness that plagued it. Thank you. You see, like, a spark of an idea in his eye. But, Chance, I have one more favor to ask of you.
You have a third arrow.
You can ask.
He looks himself over, and you see, like, in the back of his thigh, he does have like a third crossbow bolt that's like pretty far deep in there. As he just grabs it out, yanks it out, and kind of breaks it on the ground. And I didn't realize. But no, he like stands up for a second and like takes him a lot of energy. He has to like try a second time to stand up. Did my compatriots here tell you of our purpose, our journey?
Inara's face darkens slightly, but she nods, like a very curt nod. Yes, unfortunately we were made aware.
He begins laughing again. This isn't how it always was done, you know. In the olden days, it was a much different tradition. The dragon, when they were young, were paired with one of our strongest warriors. That warrior would assume responsibility for the dragon with the known assumption that if the dragon were ever to act out against the community need or even outright commit evil, this great warrior would step up and slay the dragon. This is how it used to be done. Before my people, we lose what we have. The magic that allows individual strength as such. Community is powerful too, in its own right. But you are warriors, yes? The dragon I am tasked with. There is no way the pillar will say that he will serve us. He acts out constantly. He is the most rambunctious, but the spark of life in him is by far the greatest I have ever seen. He could truly be magnificent, even if it might not be the best for everybody. You all are warriors, yes? The other two Dragonborn are like, no, Yarush. Both of them are waving their hands. Would you take him with you?
You're warrior-like.
Warrior-ish.
Inara loves the idea of saving the baby dragon, so even though she's technically the least fighter-ish out of all four of us, she's definitely... I'm finally back to a 0.
Yeah, I have a -1. I cannot fight.
All 4 of you were strong enough a warrior to cure the first oasis. If all 4 of you promise to raise this dragon, I mean, I know it doesn't seem like there's many benefits in it for you. It's a grim responsibility, but I promise, he's quite powerful. He will grow quick. He will serve you if he's raised correctly. I do not have long enough of the world to take this oath myself.
Inara turns to look at Sherrilyn and she goes, it can't be that different from training a horse, and I'll help. I'll absolutely help.
Yes, I was about to say a dragon, perhaps not unlike a giant scaled and winged horse that breathes fire.
Hey, could we have a moment to talk amongst ourselves, please, in here in the cave? Would you mind stepping out?
No, I think we need to do the same.
We think the poison that has affected Yarush may be no good his mind right now. So why don't we have 2 groups, 2 different conversations about what is right and what is wrong, on what is doctrine and what is our mission and what we are here to do.
Yes, quick ethical sidebars then.
They seal the little tent they have that's surrounded by sand, and you hear them whispering in Dragonborn with one another.
As soon as our group gathers, Inara immediately jumps in. Well, if we're talking right or wrong, you have to say it is wrong to kill a young creature.
Oh, she's already
Especially
going.
if we have We could save it. We could raise it. It could help us.
Well, we already know how Sir Ardavian feels about animals in general.
I think that it would be a huge deal to just sort of take and raise a dragon, but also I mean, I admit to a somewhat fear of dragons. I know them only from storybooks. I know that this is a different situation, and I too would hate to see anything cast down before it had a chance to prove itself correct.
Yes, but while our little side tour of the oasis was pertinent to both cleansing the land and also healing our dear friend here, this is nowhere online with what we need to do.
It could aid us in what we need to do. You heard what they said. Dragons grow very quickly. It would soon be large enough to help us on our journey.
Does anyone here outside of story know what a dragon is capable of and or acts outside of just mythical tales?
Yes, also, when we part ways, whom does the dragon go home with?
Whoever it likes most, I would think.
Inara puts both hands up. I'll take it.
Okay, seems like Inara wants the dragon. You will take responsibility for it?
Absolutely.
Will you take it on walks?
You'll feed it meats?
Twice a day.
You'll read it books?
You'll send it to training?
I'm sure my mother would approve once we have rescued her and everyone else. We could erect a tower for, and then she stops and she's like daydreaming because she's like, we're going to have to think of a name for it. This is already her pet in her mind. She's going to build it a tower. She's going to get it toys.
And you will never leave it unattended, yes.
Oh, absolutely. It would always have company.
Now, question for you, Lady Inara. How might you convince this young dragon to befriend you, let alone all of us?
Well, that is where I come in with my husbandry experience.
She points very proudly at Sir Saldra. She goes, between that and the fact that I convinced all of you to befriend me, and that wasn't easy, I think we got this.
Sir Stalda, the extent of which your animal husbandry is, I mean no offense by this, is to animals that at worst can trample you.
Hawkins a very well-trained horse. I'm sure she could do something similar with a dragon.
If we would regard the general size we assume to be of these crates beneath the tarp, I can't imagine they're that much larger than any of my horses at this current moment.
It is not the sheer size that I'm worried about, rather what the dragon is capable of.
Francis, I understand your concerns, but I think that we're probably outvoted because I'm going to vote with them. I think Inara should have the dragon.
Francis has like the worst look of betrayal on his face.
Look, as I said, it would be morally incorrect to have a creature be killed. I understand that they trust very much in this pillar, but I just don't believe something could know the subjective truth in the future in this way. I think we should give the dragon a chance.
So, Davian, isn't the pillar supposed to give you the objective truth?
I find it unlikely you can find a true objective truth on something so subjective as the future.
Exactly. Just as Plato says, the future is always changeable. Perhaps this little dragonling's future was headed in a dark direction.
They're yelling in the tent now. Just so you know, it's like it's kind of interrupting your discussion unless you move a little further away. So they're just fully screaming at each other in the tent in Dragonborn.
That sounds nasty. But Inara has a good point here. Perhaps it is this moment exactly where the dragon's fate can be changed by us making the choice.
And once this animal is successfully trained and saved, then my lady will remember it was I who helped her train this creature in the future.
So, Stalda, are you insinuating that this is not a matter of morality, but rather a way for you to have a leg up on Inara?
It can be both things.
Yes, it can be both things.
For a second, Plato was like, is Sherrilyn thinking politically? And then he realized, no, it's like she wants to give her girlfriend a dragon.
It's literally, how can I give my pet girlfriend a dragon?
She wants Inara to look at the dragon in the tower and be like, oh, it was so great when Sherrilyn helped me train that.
She'll think of me every time she lays eyes upon it.
Our love will be a literal dragon. Woo. That's knightly as hell.
And I'll be the only one that has one, so this one's gonna stick out in her mind.
You see the tent unzips on their side, and Jarush kind of storms out first. He carries now like a large quarterstaff that seems to kind of operate like a rain stick as the sounds move within the large wooden quarterstaff. Following shortly behind him is the femme dragonborn, who looks angry. She has 2 daggers drawn. And Jarush says, "Pardon us, please. Sorry, we're settling this via duel. It got too heated in there." As he draws his quarterstaff back.
Hey, blood does not need to be shed over this.
We're not doing to the death. Don't worry. Yes, it does need to be shed. It does. The femme dragonborn yells over you, as they're both on their side, drawing an oval semicircle that's about 60 yards across. He's using his quarterstaff and she's using her daggers as they're both drawing it into the sand.
Well, honorable combat. Yes, this is very necessary, Sir Thon.
He's gonna look at Shed and she just grew a second head. What?
Inara's gonna lean towards Sherrilyn, sort of bumping her with her shoulder. Closer than she needs to be, but you just offered to help her get a pet dragon. So, she goes, Yarush is gonna win, right? He's a more experienced fighter. She looks at him and she's trying to gauge whether he's just old enough to have an edge, or if he's crossed to the other side of being too old against a young, fresh warrior.
You look him over, you see still the 3 open crossbow bolt wounds that were unsealed, the poison fresh coughed out of his body, his exhausted form leaking forward. He has the quarterstaff.
Damn it.
Yes, well, perhaps one of us could offer to stand in as champion for Elder Yarush.
You could offer, but I highly doubt a Dragonborn tradition would allow for an outsider to take the part, but you could try.
Why don't we ask them? Elder Yarush.
If it would make any difference, we agreed we would take it.
I think that's the same issue.
She looks at Jarush for a second and looks back towards you. That hadn't already been. What are you talking about? Yes, of course that is the core part of the duel here. He wants to go back home and leave the dragon with you all. That is what he is fighting for. Now, are you ready, old man? Are you ready? She's taking a crouched position, her daggers drawn as her back is forward. Drew stands very peacefully on the other side as he holds the quarterstaff dead center, and you watch him close his eyes.
So about the champion thing, might one of us stand in for you on your behalf, as you are already injured?
She won't get a hit in.
He seems very confident.
And as they are about to initiate this duel, Francis is actually going to unhook the sensor from his belt, and he is going to stand in the middle of the 2 Dragonborn with the sensor out, kind of dangling from his hand, and he's going to utter the phrase "Lana Jaminan" and let the smoke kind of go out of the sensor.
Here, okay, yeah. They both seem hyper focused on each other as you step into the center of the duel. The Jarush, the elder, his eyes are completely closed. As the young femme dragonborn, whose name no one's asked and they haven't used, has stormed directly towards him. And as you step in and you say this phrase, the smoke begins to spread. She says, "Thank you for the cover." As she just does a full-on jumping front flip over you into the sensor dust on the other side here as she continues to charge Jarush. We're going to see how successful she is at this maneuver. +9. Yeah, it's going to be a 27 as she just fucking flips over you, both daggers out, as she continues to charge for him.
There is no need to continue this, and he will just stand behind her as she's about to strike the elder dragonborn. The smoke's still pouring out.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you just going to stand there and passive heal them the whole fight?
I'm not gonna let them fucking die.
That's so great.
You see her charge up, and in a flurry of blows, you can barely see her with how fast she's attacking. She takes 5 melee strikes against this target, seeming to kind of like lose herself in the flurry of blows. Francis, you feel a figure kind of bump into you. Sorry. An invisible figure kind of bump into you. As the closed figure of Jarush with his eyes closed remains still in front under this flurry of attacks. You hear, I'm just letting her tire herself out just like a little bit.
Francis will keep looking at her as she's making these attacks and kind of play the fool of not hearing him, and just whisper in a very hushed tone, "You are very wise, aren't you?"
What is this magic? Is this like an ultimate shield? What is this? As you see her kind of circle him on the other side of the battlefield here, her dagger's drawn. I'm just a tired old man who misses the old ways. Her eyes turn towards you. Did you do this?
Francis is just holding the censer with the smoke still coming out of it, and he's like, "I have done nothing to interfere with this other than to try and stop you from this pointless duel."
Is a nat 20. As you see her say, "You already interfere." As you watch her get lifted off the ground as a quarterstaff finds her square in the chest, just lunging her as she is sent flying from the arena, a good 30 feet or so, as she tries to recover into a 3-point landing well outside of the arena.
Home run.
Game.
Drush lays down, now visible, kind of in the center of the duel arena, taking heavy breaths.
Inara starts clapping her hands and she's jumping, dancing around Sherrilyn. I'm getting a dragon. I'm getting a dragon.
Sherrilyn's nodding along and politely clapping as well.
The 4 of you must swear, if it is to ever upset the balance in the world, you will strike as one and put it down. Drush says, into the air, his eyes still closed. He puts his hands on his chest. He's breathily yelling this pact out.
Before we make this promise collectively, I would like to posture the question, how would we know that?
You will know.
Inara turns to look at you. She goes, if a dragon turns evil, a fully grown dragon, and decides to act on its impulses, we will all know far and wide. You may be underestimating a little bit just how huge these creatures can get. I really hope you don't think this is just a slightly bigger horse.
Well, my knowledge of bestiary is incomprehensive. What can I say? The bears and the
You do
owls.
recall the dragon we saw at the peace meet. Did he turn into a fully grown dragon?
Are you talking about what is his position?
The Emir.
Yeah, the Emir. Yeah, he did turn into a fully grown dragon.
So yeah, she tries to remind you of the our first encounter. That was not a special dragon because it was the Emir. That was pretty standard actually for most adult full-grown dragons. So that is what we're signing on for.
Typically, I am not afeared by creatures.
Hell yeah, let's go!
Now, can this duel be over and pact be made so that we do not send each other flying further into the desert?
Yes, we all dragon swear.
Hear, hear.
You see the femme dragonborn very breathlessly kind of return from being punted a few yards away outside of the cycle. Okay, I guess we're breaking all tradition, and you 4 are just going to go ahead and take a dragon with you, huh? Do you want us to shuffle them around so you might not get the bad one, or do you want the bad one?
No, we'll take the bad one. Also, if it helps you at all with your anger issues, because you are radiating, this isn't really breaking tradition. We're going back to the original tradition, which is the real tradition.
Oh, you an older dragonborn? Oh man, your disguise is so good. Oh, all of your disguises, they're so good.
Also, Sir Thon happens to be some sort of therapist, as I am told, so...
She very angrily looks to the center. Not even a chuckle, Jarush? Not even a little chuckle. Jarush doesn't move or respond. She walks over to him.
So, Stalder, if you believe me to be some sort of therapist, then I will be both complimented and confused.
You are self-proclaimed, and I will refer you to 2 episodes prior.
Simply because the party has gone through so much, and apparently Francis is the only one that can keep them level.
You hear soft crying begin to emerge from the center as her hand is against his neck.
Wait, what?
Wait, who's crying?
The feminine dragonborn, her hand is on Jerusha's neck. He was laying in the center of the dueling arena. Having asked you guys to sworn, she's like crying over him with her hand against his neck.
That's a big switch. Are you that upset that we're taking the dragon? I promise we will take this responsibility
Francis
seriously.
will hold her hand. He'll hold his hand up, like in front of Inara, and be like, "I think he has breathed his last."
Oh no! She says, realizing what had just happened.
Well, now our vow is to him as well. I'll approach Sad Dragonborn and I'll say, Salam. Sorry, I am Plato. What was your name?
Drusel.
Giselle. I am sorry for your loss, but we will do our best to honor him, and if the dragon appears as he feared, we will handle it in accordance with your faith.
She's just kind of speechless. It is the bottom cage.
Thank you.
We won't stop you.
We will handle it. I guess I look back to Sherrilyn, who is stronger than me, because I'm not going to be able to lift 2 cages.
Inara will approach the dead dragonborn and kneel down by him. She'll reach out her hand and clasp it over his, sort of like a silent farewell. And then she'll respectfully leave the other dragonborn to mourn as she follows Plato. She's trying very hard not to look or act giddy. Respect the moment.
How tall do these cages go? You said they're stacked on top of each other.
Probably a good 12, 15 feet up into the air here. Each dragon is the size of a medium-sized small dog right now. Medium-sized dog at present. And the cages are each individually tarped. The tarp seems to wrap fully around the cage, and then kind of is attached with a clasp, so it could be maneuvered. The tarp definitely being heavily fireproof at first glance here.
More importantly, is there a ladder?
No.
Of course not. Then first we must fashion some sort of ladder, unless Mr. Ardavian would like if I stood on his shoulders.
I mean, you'd crush me.
Because of the armor, yes, that is an astute point.
Yes, and as mentioned, without any strength loss at all, I only have a strength score of 9, so perhaps Francis. He's a very solid man.
Francis is still in the center of the kind of dueling area with Darcel, with the sensors still in hand. It's no longer emitting any smoke, and he would get not right behind her, but respectfully just over her shoulder and be like, "Is there any tradition or ritual that you wish to have for him?"
Yes. We will handle it, though. We would like some time to mourn. Please take your winnings. I'm sure we will see each other again.
It is not a winning, but rather his burden that we have taken for ourselves. He is of peace now.
Roll me a persuasion check at advantage.
12 plus 3 for 15.
Okay. With a 15, you believe that she believes you believe that.
We all believe.
As a deep calmness seems to spread through her, but you still sense, I wish, she does want to be alone with him.
With that, he will silently reholster the sensor and turn to assist Sherrilyn and Inara with the retrieval of the dragon.
Where's the third dragonborn?
You don't know. You haven't seen him. He wasn't back in the tent. As you're walking away, Francis, she stops you and says, "What is your name?"
Francis Thorn.
Francis Thorn. I must tell you, in all truth, not a single hatchling has passed the beacon's test yet. I hope you do better than we are.
Perhaps a new approach is all that is needed for these younglings.
She nods and then turns back as you see her kind of like embrace and hold George for a second as she like begins to lift him up as you walk away.
Yes, Sir Thon, I had an epiphany. If you would come over and hold my horse steady.
He looks at the crates, at Harkin and you, and it's kind of like find out how 2 plus 2 is equaling 5 right now. And he's like, please, whatever it is that you are attempting, do be careful in it. I do not want to see you stuck in the ground again due to outside activities.
I am always careful. But you see, the horse is quite tall, and I am not short, so if I come to standing on the back of the horse, then perhaps I will be tall enough and have the full support of my arms to pull this cage off the other.
Well, I do not doubt that Harkin will prove a steady platform. Are you quite well enough to be balancing on such a platform that was not meant to be stood on?
I feel like this was a twofold question. I have 27 hit points, firstly. Secondly, Harkin and I have gone through many a trial together, none the least being standing atop of his back as he remains calm. So I do not doubt his stalwartness.
Yes, some would say it's even easier to stand on the back of a horse.
Do some say that?
I feel like I heard that somewhere.
You also heard that the idiom was to put the horse before the cart, which is how you're supposed to do it, but I digress.
I take a scattershot approach to idioms.
This is unraveling quickly. Inara turns and calls out, Darcel, would you by chance be willing to help us move some of the top crates?
I think pretty explicitly not.
She is currently carrying a dead body right now.
And we're doing something against her religion.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call for a roll there. There's no persuasion check high enough. I think you just get a look from her, and then no response.
Okay.
Come on, I thought we were honoring the old man's wishes.
She literally just tried to fight one of the strongest people she knows to prevent you from doing what you're doing. She's not gonna help you deal with the logistics of it.
So, Stalda, when you're ready, I shall keep Harkin steady for you.
Good, yes, here are his reins. You see, the horse is about 6 feet tall, and I am about 6 feet tall, and so if the crates all in total are about 12 feet tall, then I should be as tall as the crates if I'm standing upright on his back, which I will do now.
Do be careful.
Do you need me to roll something for this, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just a DC 10 athletics check. Just bouncing on a horse, which you do pretty often.
10 on the nose.
Nice. You don't accidentally free the dragon within or anything like that. You're just able to simply move the top crate off into its own stack right next to it. You don't need a roll for the second crate now that it's not that high up. You can just on the ground lift it and put it on the other box.
Are we going to have to drag the cage? I assume it will take us a while for Inara to fashion a dragon leash. How far are we from the mezcal place?
Probably not far at all. Like minutes away. Your guess is they probably didn't stop there because, well, they have dragons. Poachers were just chasing them and one of them is wounded. But it's very close to that, if need be.
What do we do with the crate? Will it fit in the back of our cart?
I think the crate, maybe on top. Maybe we can get it on top and then have it covered with the top. That's a way that we could travel around with it.
The other Dragonborn kind of making way, not helping, kind of refusing to help you take this dragon, but not stopping you. As you all take the large crate. It's probably the size of a crate about like of a medium dog at this point. It's not like massive, as it is. Seems to be like one solid piece of pretty heavy metal. It's not like wire thin. And the tarp is built in to kind of fill the gaps. There are like air holes throughout and a carrying thing up top. It is very heavy. You're not sure how these Dragonborn were able to carry it by themselves. The crate itself obviously has to be pretty strong to maintain a young dragon, but they are very young. And you see the front mechanism. The lock is very simple, and it isn't like a key or anything like that. It's just a series of 2 locks on the outside that are both drawn tight at this moment. And you can hear kind of scrambling coming from inside. And every now and then, the feeling of heat kind of on the edges of the cage, as whatever's inside seems to be throwing a little bit of a tantrum at present. It feels a little hot to the touch.
And as she's standing up top on Harkin's rear, she has a wide stance across its back as she's trying to pull this crate down, and she says, "Someone help me down. Here, who will take this from me?"
Inara will reach up really excited. This is like, Christmas to her. She's getting a new pet. And so she's reaching up to try to grab it by the sides, making sure she's holding it using the fire tarp.
Yes, be very careful. While my strength has been restored, it is heavy even for me, my lady. Bend at the knees.
You see her like physically struggle, like her arms are shaking, her knees are kind of wobbly because she's not strong at all.
Do you have it?
And
Are you sure?
maybe I might need some help. Help.
Francis, upon hearing the two of them just like kind of struggling to get it down, would walk over and kind of place himself like kind of in like a catching position, or at least steadying Sherrilyn as she helps Inara get it down.
Never mind me. Help her. She's the one bearing the brunt of the dragon weight.
Well, I don't exactly have a way to get up there.
You see her stumble backwards a little bit. She's bent at the waist at the wrong angle, and she's like stumbling back, about to hit one of the horses.
I don't think this is the right angle. You'll probably have to re-ingest the entire thing. Plato is far away. He's not helping.
Mr. Ardavian.
She actually turns and gives you a dirty look. It's like, really?
Seems like enough cooks in the kitchen, as far as I am concerned.
Well, I can always swap out and you can come and assist.
Bad idea. I'm very weak.
But clearly you know how to do it.
I know geometry.
I was trying to bend at the knee, like Sherrilyn suggested.
All right. Inara is holding the full weight of the crate for just a moment as Sherrilyn lets go fully and turns around on the horse, dropping down onto her butt on the back of Harkin and then sliding off so that she can help you as quickly as possible. And you're both holding it on either side of the crate. So there's two people carrying it like with their forearms now.
Okay, let's set it down gently. This thing is not happy, Inara says. I'm this close to getting singed.
All right, yes, precariously. Bend with me.
And as soon as we set it down, Inara's going to reach into her bag and pulls out the potion of fire resistance that she has. And she looks at the tarp and looks at the potion and she goes, this might be a good time for this. And she takes it.
Glug, glug, glug.
Shall I remove the tarp now, or should we leave it covered?
Can you get at least like a few 100 feet away before you commit like a continual crime against my tradition? Just take the dragon and go, please. Don't just do it right here in the middle of our camp.
Come on. It's bad enough this poor thing's been in this cage this whole time.
It's not a poor thing. He will turn into the monster that eat many men. I don't understand how you are so limited.
Nara gives her a withering look. She's like, we'll just see about that.
She gives a more withering look right back. Roll me intimidation. Let's see whose look is more withering. Not to have any effect. This won't have any effect on her. This is just to see who has a more withering look.
Okay. 9.
She got a nat 1, and as she's like looking at you trying to be withering, she's like, oh wait, she's actually really cute. And you see her begin to blush, and like she can't hold your eye contact at all with a nat 1 as she withers away.
Inara smirks at that. But while usually she would respond as soon as she sees an opportunity for flirting, she is much more interested in her new pet right now. All she wants is to get the tarp off and see if there's a way to get it out of the cage without killing someone.
She's a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, so the tarp is actually sewn into and built into the cage. To the cage, it is one piece. Like you can't take the tarp necessarily off. It's kind of the walls of it as well, as the steel that's in it. Like it's completely built in. You could like tear it kind of apart if you wanted to, but you also could undo the latch on the front, and it seems like the front part of it does just open up.
Well, since she did have a bit of an effect on the Dragonborn, she'll start reaching for the lock, stop for a second, turn to the Dragonborn and go, is there a chain on the dragon, or how do you guys get them out of the cage without them flying away?
I believe my lady is asking about a leash for a dragon.
Yes, that.
They will not fly away. They are not in the cage to keep them from running, but to keep them safe. Poachers are hunting us, as I said, but they are very docile at this stage of their life. If you let them free, they will simply fly above you.
Inara looks ecstatic at this, and she immediately reaches for the locks. She's undoing this. Like, she's opening this cage, letting this dragon out, giving everyone fair warning here, this is what's happening.
These creatures sound far less and less like they will be killing mankind as they grow.
Right?
Well, the important thing is that it will be able to make its own determination in that path.
You open the lock?
Yes.
Yeah, it takes a couple seconds. You're an artificer. You can figure out a simple lock, no problem. You do so, and just a second or two later, this very small dragon, very, very young, he is a dark crimson color. He is very armored. He has a bull nose, like a kind of stubby nose, and his dark purplish crimson armor scales kind of like are heavy as they clink into one another, performing this like heavy armor around it. The only other feature is that's incredibly noticeable at first glance is this very bright neon orange that forms two lines kind of going around his mouth, almost forming this kind of harness look that continues throughout his entire body, almost like a bearded dragon. It has that singular line kind of around, but this in dual spots, as this neon orange brightens its entire pattern. It flies with force, its wings kind of flapping against itself. It has no real control, and it is not graceful as it just charges Inara's face. Its beak, bullish and kind of stub nose, biting out as it just goes and tries to bite Inara's cheek.
Sherrilyn reaches out a gauntleted hand in between them, like holding a kid back by the forehead. She just inserts her hand to stop it from flying forward at Inara.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
A 5, as we know that Sherrilyn is not very dexterous.
As you like reach up your hand to block and catch, this dragon is much heavier in the air than you were expecting, as its wings don't really pick it up a lot. And it like kind of falls down and ends up right at like Inara's neck and shoulder as it kind of latches on and then bites onto Inara's shoulder. That's going to be a
Yes, a bruiser.
15 plus 2. That's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is going to be 1 point of piercing damage as you feel him nibble into your shoulder.
Inara actually laughs a little bit, and she's like trying to push him off the way you would an overeager puppy that kind of bowls you over. So she's not that upset by this. She was expecting it. She took a potion. So this is a lot more docile than she was expecting. Yeah.
Vicious little thing.
He's just really excited to get out of that horrible cage.
I reach out with my mind.
Into the dragon's mind?
I do, yes.
Okay. Okay. The dragon is just latched onto Inara. You see it has like a piece of her dress and fur like stuck in his beak, and it seems to be confused and processing that. Like he's like, what is this material? As he's kind of like his rough face, pug-like almost, as it's all compressed.
I definitely don't want to damage the dress, so I will reach up, but being very gentle. Like she's not trying to push him off, but maybe try to untangle the dress from its jaw.
What's Plato saying in the head? We'll see.
Hello, that is our friend Inara. We are not going to bite her. Welcome.
All right, roll me a persuasion check at advantage from Inara. Ooh, or animal handling. The thing is, it understands common. I'm going to say persuasion.
That was from Inara or me? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Persuasion.
From Inara. With advantage.
The persuasion is from me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You have advantage. I gave you the help action by talking in its brain. I told it to love you.
Nice. Okay, so that's 18 on the die plus 1, so 19.
19? Hell yeah. It kind of turns and looks around and then looks up. And as it does so, it's going to push off of you, Inara, and take to the sky above you. As again, it is so clunky as it takes flight. It like keeps falling over itself and then has to recover in air as like different portions of its body are weighted so differently. Its heavily armored tail and sides. Its wings kind of spread out from it, a little bit thinner than the rest of its body, kind of not fully grown. It flies more like a bumblebee, not nearly as gracefully. Other birds might, or the other dragons in this area might, because of its kind of armored body layout. But you do watch it float above and stretch out its entire body. Its scales kind of elongating as it like really fills this space, kind of longer than the cage would have fit. As it flies above you, kind of staying directly within your radius as it stretches in the sky.
Be careful up there, that you do not get shot by arrows.
Yeah, how high up is he going?
Probably about 30, 40 feet.
Okay, so
He should be fine. Yeah, Inara's looking up, totally enamored with him. We gotta come up with a name.
I want to call him Tantrum.
Oh, come on, that's actually kind of cute. But maybe we can find something nicer.
I mean, I think he is an intelligent creature. He might be able to... Well, that is an interesting question.
You look up and you see a small, like, dove hawk that is flying above the plains. And you watch as your dragon catches its eye of sight, and in just seconds, the dragon swoops down on it, and with this burst of brilliant blue and then red flame that emerges from its mouth, it just burns this dove hawk out of the sky. Doesn't even eat it. As you watch the burned bird just fall to the ground as it loops back to you, Inara.
Well, what an incredibly useful creature. That is a real talent. We're gonna make good use of that.
Well, it claimeth its first kill.
We should. Did it fall far from us?
The dove hawk?
Yeah.
No, it's just not far at all.
We should go see if it's edible.
So you all have the two horses. Are we headed back towards?
Yes, I think if we find that the dragon follows us as we move towards the mess gallery, then it's probably polite to get it away from the other dragonborns.
But also, perhaps we should crate it before we enter the distillery so that no harm befalls it or vice versa.
Be able to get it back into crate.
How are we gonna get the crate moving? Can the horses handle something that heavy?
They're large horses, and this dragon is not so big.
Perhaps we can let it fly along until we get there, and we can crate it once we have to go inside. But it seems to be enjoying its freedom, and I'm loath to take it away from it so soon.
Then we tether the crate to one of the horses and drag it along in the sand. And as to the answer to your question, Mr. Davian, of how do we get it back into the crate, well, she's going to walk over to the location where the bird fell down and hit the ground that is now thoroughly toasted, and pick it up by the foot and toss it into the crate.
There we go. Dinner.
Well,
He could not, or they could not. You're not sure about this dragon's gender. The dragon could not seem less interested, as its eyes are in the sky. Does not go for it.
Though I've never seen this behavior amongst dragons, hawks are often used as spies here to catch people who might be crossing the border. This is like a mouser, as you would call a cat. It is getting rid of pests that clog the sky with other eyes.
And like a flying cat, will it not grow hungry later and consume the hawk?
I am not sure. It does not seem interested.
So I will say, after a couple minutes, and this is continuous as you guys are traveling, every couple minutes or so, it messily lands on Inara and tries to take it back at that shoulder. Just so you know, it like falls out of the sky every now and then, trying to land on you, Inara, and return biting where you're at.
I mean, Inara, I feel like she would be happy that it keeps coming back to her, but she's definitely trying to dodge the bite. And she'd go, no, stop it. No. Maybe we need to get it a chew toy.
It seems like it's getting more and more frustrated.
I really must insist that we return it into its crate.
Does it react to hearing that? I mean, it understands us.
Pardon me, could you perhaps come back into your crate for when we return to town? I'm still in its brain.
Yeah, and you all see the mescalery, the sign, the headless bachelor's palanque, in the near distance here. You can see the groves once more as you return from the cliffside that this small encampment was hidden within. You're just a few hundred feet now from the center of these groves, which houses this distillery. As you discuss one-on-one with this dragon. What do you ask it to do, sorry?
If it would come down and get into the crate while we got it back home. I don't know, I'm just trying to be polite.
Yeah, you see it kind of opens its beak. It's like kind of, again, snub nose, thicker jawed.
I'm sorry, it wants to be fed Inara.
Did it say that specifically? It wants to eat me?
No, it can't communicate back telepathically as far as I can tell. It seems underdeveloped in that way, but it is hungry and it's only expressed interest in you, so... Oh, maybe you have to feed it because you are bonded to it? I don't know. I don't know anything about dragons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's gonna start, like, pawing through her bag to see if she has any, like, fruit, rations. She's gonna start offering it different things. Like, at one point, she pulls out an apple.
Everything you offer immediately, the second it's in your hand and near the dragon's mouth. And you're not sure how, like, you look at the jaw structure of the dragon, you're not sure how it's fitting some of these things in there, but it is immediately snapping it out of your hand, each offering as you offer it.
Well, he's not a picky eater.
May I recommend, once again, that you offer it the hawk that is in the crate.
He's like crushing an apple.
Well, do you want to go grab that thing? Because I'm worried that if I stop, it's going to start going for my shoulder again.
Sherrilyn stops the horse and dismounts, leaving Inara back there. And she'll round hearken to where the crate has been dragging in the sand this entire time. And she lifts the tarp off of where the door is, swings open the front, and reaches inside for the hawk that is now sanded, and brings it over to Inara.
While you do this, you all see the dragon. It has an apple in its jaw, and it's like crunching, and then just like smashing the other half of the apple onto the ground, and then eating the like kind of smashed apple.
So cute. Inara brings the hawk over and offers it to the dragon once he's done with the apple.
To the crate.
Doesn't seem interested in the hawk. Has taken everything else from you.
Huh.
Roll me an insight check.
We found the one vegetarian dragon.
13.
Yeah, you see he kind of like sniffs it a little. Doesn't like the burnt smell. Doesn't like the cooked smell.
So it doesn't smell good. And I'm assuming she'd have some kind of dried meat with her. So when you say that you're worried it's a vegetarian dragon, she offers it some of that to see if it's interested in like piece of cured chicken or beef or something.
Yeah, he snatches it up, and he's chewing for a really long time on that. He's just like, he's kind of like flatter teeth, a couple sharp on the left and right. It's a really weird jaw structure as it kind of like fills in. But he's like kind of grinding it and chewing it, really enjoying it, kind of like floating right off the ground with you, like holding it right next to your ear.
Yeah, she's enamored with this thing. She's completely forgotten what we were doing, and she's just now focused on this discovery of what it likes to eat, and what it doesn't like to eat, how it eats apples.
Hey, lady, we are quickly approaching the distillery. I think that you should stow your dragon.
You hear piano music spill out of the distillery, by the way. Like someone begins to play piano in the distance.
What kind of piano are we talking? Is it composition-wise? Which country can I tell its origin?
It is very traditional Luxorian music. I would say even like a song most people know, Inara. And it's being played very well, like on a technical level. And it's a quicker, upbeat, jazzier piano song. That is like one that everybody dances to, like when it gets busted out at the festival. It's usually a big band. It's impressive almost immediately how much sound this piano seems to be able to create.
So her ears will perk up, and she'll turn to look and be like, "That's beautiful. Whoever's playing that is very skilled."
I agree. We should check it out, yes?
Okay. And she climbs off the back of Harkin, where I'm assuming she's been this whole time, and walks back to the crate. She places a couple of more apples and some more of the dried meat in there in hopes that the dragon will follow.
The dragon definitely is following. Yeah, he's like on you. Since you've been
Okay.
feeding him, and again, he's not graceful with how he's on you. So you just kind of have the different sharp dragon claws. Like one is in like he's hanging upside down almost as he's like eating the food out of your hand, like on your chest, with one a back claw on your shoulder, like spread across from you. Just this very very thick, armored guy just clinging onto your front.
Is there I'm assuming there are like chinks in between the armor or the scales, so
Mhm.
she's tried to like find a spot to scratch him behind the ears like she would one of her lizards or other pets. She doesn't seem to mind the claws and the clawing all that much, but she is trying to help it stay up and position its claws away from her mother's dress.
So
Um,
as you we're not gonna roll damage for this here, but as you see some blood kind of start to soak through from some small cuts on your body that the dragon has made just from landing on you and piercing you. The dress seems completely immune to any sort of damage due to its magical nature. It is a very powerful magical item, and it cannot be destroyed by or damaged by mundane means. So the dragon is piercing you, but not the dress, as it seems to make a post of your body.
Even better. And she'll lean down and try to sort of help it climb off of her and get into the crate before she locks the door behind it, leaving it to enjoy its snack. And then she'll get back on the horse with Sherrilyn. Let's go find where this music's coming from.
Francis, are you doing anything during this time?
He's kind of just watching on, seeing Inara kind of handle the dragon relatively well. And then as they get closer to the distillery, he's gonna be like, the Dragonborn mentioned that there were poachers about for dragons, correct? Would it be wise to leave him alone while we are inside?
You make a good point.
We don't have to leave him alone. We just needed him concealed.
Well, if we have Rock and the others are here, maybe we could tag one of them to come out and watch it for a little while. If we leave the cage outside, is as we approached the Panque or whatever the mescalery.
Palanque, the headless bachelor's palanque. Yeah, as you approach on horseback, you do see quite a few carts here. There's two or three out front, and there is a stable connected to the farmland here. That's filled with quite a few mules, as well as these like half working oxen that look like oxen at first glance, but as you look, their body is much more chitin like instead of fur like. But it has this mass to it, and you're not quite sure what its purpose is, but it seems to be plowing something in the field across here. And as you all continue forth, I will say, Inara, you definitely recognize there is a palatine um, there with a series of noble bred lizards. There is somebody important here. There is like the same cart structure that you used to cross the desert to get to the peace meet. It is there. Like there is somebody of importance that definitely had this cart and a guard unit within this building.
Okay. She, noticing the ensembles in the carriage and everything, she'll turn to the rest of the group and be like, someone important is here. Between that and the music, I think maybe we should try to be on our best behavior.
Always on my best behavior.
She's behind you on the horse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She goes, sure. But I don't know if you're looking back at her, but she has a very skeptical look on her face. Like, if this has been her best behavior the whole time, we're screwed.
And you do note your own horses in this stable. Your cart not immediately obvious, but you see on the other side of the stable, the front part of it, as your cart is also
So
here.
silly. We can put him in the cart.
Cart of many hiding places.
Do we see Leilani or Rourke or Mikhail?
Not outside.
The hiding places. I mean, we can probably slide it in there. My bet is that Leilani, Mikhail, and Rourke are drinking and dancing to that piano, if I know them at all.
I'm sure Rourke is happy that he has his sight back.
I definitely agree that we should stash him somewhere safe until we have a better understanding of what situation we're walking into.
All right.
If that's the case, we can load it just into the cart, assuming that no one's going to peek inside of our cart.
Why would you think that they would do that?
Because it's someone of noble or higher status does not mean they're someone trustworthy. I think we discovered that quite recently at the peace meet.
We do have the benefits that the cart has been here for a while, so if someone was going to check it, perhaps they already have, and sneaking something into it now would be safer.
Do you open the cart?
I mean, I think we're gonna sneak around to that side. Have we gotten that close?
Yeah, you're definitely there. You're at the stables, the music pouring out. No one's like greeted you or anything like that. There's nobody immediately obvious on the outside of this building.
Well, then go on, Sir Thon, since you were so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I think it's a gentleman's turn to carry the heavy thing. She gives a pointed look to Plato, remembering his very unhelpful comment when she was half bent over.
Joins her in the pointed look.
I fully cannot carry it. It was not a matter of pride.
Then, Sir David, do you mind if you just open the cart for me?
Yes, I can open the cart. I will go over and I will listen at the back of the cart.
Thank you.
Yeah, you listen to the back of the cart. You don't hear anything.
So as they get by the cart, Francis gets off Grizzly and then he's gonna drag the crate first over to the cart, kind of like set up behind it.
I think this will be a good place for him.
And then he's gonna just see just how heavy this actually is before fully lifting it off the ground.
Come now, Inara could carry it for just a moment. Drag it as close as you can, and then bend at the knees.
All right. And then once he's set up next to the cart, he will, with proper stance, bend at the knees and lift.
Does someone open the cart?
Oh yeah, sorry. Open the cart.
Oh hell yeah!
After
You
listening.
open the cart. The dragon's in the crate. He seems to be staying in there. His eyes kind of closing a little bit tired from all the energy he just expended. As he's like butt to the back, like he doesn't even turn around once he gets in the crate. He's just kind of eating food with his big rocky butt behind
He's
him.
in a food coma. It's fine.
As you do it, every single square inch of this cart has been searched, and all of it has been tossed. And there is at least 4 additional hiding spots that you all didn't catch, including a false interior roof. It can be lowered to potentially stash a whole person, like in the top of the cart there. It can be raised or lowered, but there's a false roof, as well as a false trap door that is opened right now. The trap door just leads like underneath the cart, like a quick drop underneath the cart. It doesn't have like anything in it, but all of it has been completely opened and torn through and left in disarray.
Hey everyone, this is Parker and I play Francis in the Lands That Make Us podcast. Our wonderful theme music was composed and produced by Dustin Goddard and cover art by Julia Folkart. You can discover more of Julia's art on her Instagram, linked in the show notes. Share our adventure with your party, and we'll see you next time.